Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. We're on to the final piece of this historic storm cycle, and it has already started to snow up in the Wasatch of Utah. Let's go up to Big Cottonwood here, up in Brighton. You can see the snow, full parking lot right there. Snow is coming down. I'd say we're looking at anywhere from 15 to 25 inches of snow in the Wasatch, especially Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons, over the next 24 to 36 hours. So that is Brighton right there. Let's go over to Alta. You can see it is also snowing there as well. Let's move into Colorado, though. This is Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek, every day has been a powder day this week. In Wolf Creek, and I'm going to cover this a little bit more in a second, but you're up to 91 inches in the last 7 days. 91 inches. And I've got another roughly 2 to 3 feet on the way with this next storm system coming in, this next merger between basically tonight and Saturday morning. So it's unbelievable how much snow we've had in Wolf Creek and up to Crested Butte and down to Silverton. In fact, that's what I was writing about this morning in my blog post. If you're not subscribed to this, please do so, christomer.com. I'm talking about the merger of these two storm systems and marking the end of the storm cycle. I make a couple of interesting points here. So the grand total, I think where we're going to end up out of this entire storm cycle from basically the 23rd of December through the late on the 1st of January at Wolf Creek is probably 120 to 130, 120 to 130 inches. That is significant. At Crested Butte, I think we'll get to 100 inches. That would put it in the top 3 as far as storm cycles go. It's historic in that fashion. And the forecast coming out of the Crested Butte Avalanche Center is for extreme avalanche danger, a 5 out of 5 on the risk level for Friday and probably Saturday. I can remember that happening a couple of times back in March 2019 and back in the Bury the Butte storm cycle back in the 2017. So I was writing about this kind of stuff in here. We're looking at like 10 inches of snow water equivalent out of this storm cycle in parts of Colorado, the western slope of Colorado. It's been unbelievable. I also looked at something else here, very interesting. What I think the air temperatures are going to be at a few different places on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, because some very cold air is going to be moving in with this. I look at Alta, Loveland, Snowmass, Jackson Hole, and Crested Butte. I mean, it is going to be cold both mornings, but in particular on Sunday morning, we're looking at most places below zero Sunday morning. So that is in my blog if you want to take a look at that. Let's look at the future position of this right now. This is according to the GFS model. So by the time we get into Friday morning, you're really looking at both storms colliding over the four corners. So you can see the one coming up from the desert southwest. You can see the one coming in from the Pacific Northwest. And just, you know what, and just quickly, let me mark these. Let me just show you what they look like coming in on the satellite image here. So this is the water vapor satellite. Let me just mark them so you have an idea of what we're talking about. There's a low basically right here, and there's a low right here. And both of them are going to be moving down towards the four corners. That's why you're going to have snow in the Wasatch, the Tetons, Idaho. You're going to have snow through Santa Fe, or Ski Santa Fe, up to Taos, and then in southern Colorado, you're going to get hammered. And this is where they both will come together. Utah, Colorado, southern Wyoming, northern New Mexico. So that's the merger that's happening. I just wanted to explain that. Let's go back to the GFS to give it a little more context here. So this is Friday morning, New Year's Eve. And you've got it. You've got snow over all those places with that merger happening. Now watch that low spinning up in Colorado. So there is late Friday, Saturday morning, right here Saturday morning. So the low has basically started to depart. Still snowing hard, though, in parts of Colorado, especially in the southern mountains of Colorado and northern New Mexico. Snow's over by that time frame in Utah and Wyoming, and that low moves out into the plains and away. And then we're going to catch a few dry days here. There's Sunday morning. There's Monday morning. Now, I think by the 4th, and this is the 4th, the jet starts to become a little more active and run west to east. And so I think we're going to start to see snow come off the west coast and into Idaho, into Wyoming, Montana, and eventually Utah and Colorado. You can see it happening right there, especially into Wednesday morning. And then Thursday morning as well. Some of that brushes the central and northern mountains. And there it is on Thursday. And so you get the idea. The action does return after a break in it. Let's look at my totals. So we'll do this in 2 time frames, basically from today all the way through the 2nd. This basically takes into account the rest of the storm cycle in Colorado. Most places are going to get a foot to 2 feet out of this, but there are places that may get 2 to 3 feet from Crested Butte down towards Wolf Creek, Aspen, Snowmass, the West Elks. You get the idea. Probably brushing Silverton. Definitely 1 to 2 feet up there in the Wasatch, about a foot up there in the Tetons. And look at Taos and Ski Santa Fe and Angel Fire, 1 to 2 feet, most in Taos. Obviously, you can see the numbers. I also added Winter Park to this map as well. I'll keep it on here going forward. I had some people asking about Winter Park. So that's phase 1. Let me show you what's next. So between the 3rd and the 8th, the West Coast is going to get most of this because that's where the next storm and the jet will be the most active. You can see it from Shasta to Bachelor, big totals up at Bachelor and Timberline, Stevens Pass, Baker, Whistler, Blackcomb. Some of that even blows up in towards Banff and parts of western Alberta. Big snow in Sun Valley, Schweitzer. Look at that, 2-3 feet up there in Jackson Hole, up into the Tetons, and also Grand Targhee. So yeah, I mean that's what's next on this. Looking down the road, let me take a look at my snow plume for Winter Park, and here it is. So 11 to 12 inches I think is entirely possible between late tonight, tomorrow, and the 1st. So you'll be skiing powder for the next few days up there in Winter Park, and then we'll go through a dry stretch of a few days, and then that storm track will then shift in by probably late 4 into 5 and 6. So there you go. Hope everyone has a great day. We'll do an update on New Year's Eve tomorrow for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.